Hey folks, back with you with video number 5. Just wanted to say thanks for watching from Canada, US, Germany, and Indonesia. So, finally got some analytics in. 92% male, of course, and 8% female. So, thank you so much for watching the few videos that I have out. Um, I'm kind of a jack of all trades, I know a few. I've mastered a few, I would say, or I know a few very, very well. But I thought I'd make a video on my last 3 weeks journey on making a full functional website. Um, this is not a how-to video, and I do have a table of content here. I'll link a few. There's definitely a lot of better, like kind of like hold my hand how-to videos. I'll link a few of those below from CyberNews. I think they do a terrific job. But this is just more of a like my journey, my investigation, combining 3 different tools together. Um, so that would be Squarespace, Cloudflare, and Wazuh. I'm using Squarespace for the front end, Cloudflare is for the site optimization, origin secure, like we're protecting the origin, cache sites and those things. And I'm using the data logs from Wazuh, and I'm feeding those into. Sorry, I'm using the data logs from Cloudflare, and I'm feeding those into Wazuh. So that's the table of contents for today. If anyone likes this content, I can make a follow up. I make sure I did a YouTube search. There's not, again, there's a lot of like, hey, this is Squarespace, but there's not a lot of videos like showing, hey, let's combine, a couple of different solutions to get a really good resolve at the end. So, but yeah, let's go over that. So I have 2 windows up already. That would be the blank Wix page that I have up here, as well as it's the same Elysium machine, but it's just a copy of it. It's just blank essentially. Let's run a test on here first. This is a browser site, so I mean it's not really any kind of. Now I wouldn't use this as a very good strong indication, but definitely it will paint a picture for us here in just a moment. We'll let this run. And you'll see here in just a second. For a blank page, it should be scoring the way that it is. Also for the demonstration, I've also disabled cache, so it's not going to be dumping anything into our local drive. They will definitely just fetch every single time. So we'll run a lighthouse a few more times here, and you'll notice it will paint the same picture here for us, as a blank page should, even with the Wix advertisement at the top there. And this is definitely something that in my line of work. I haven't really done an intro video, but this is kind of what I do professionally: is integrate systems together and deployments of infrastructure, both on-prem, in weather or cloud. That's kind of like within the job scope. So you can see very, very good scores here, as it should be for a blank page. There's nothing here. Now on the same side, I've tried to recreate the same blank. It's a little bit different with Squarespace. But as you can see, that if we come back here, let's jump into the network here. I just want to show you guys. Let it roll in here just a moment. Whoops. Reload. There we go. You'll see a few things that are bulky for sure, but for the most part, all the JS bundles are relatively fairly lightweight. As far as, again, I'm not a front-end developer or anything like that. Definitely those guys can tell maybe something that I can't. But yeah, from a like an analyst troubleshooting view, I don't really see anything out of the ordinary on the Wix side of things. Whoops, no, we don't want that. But let's come here and let's run it on Squarespace as well. I'm just going to minimize this so we can kind of see what's going on here. As far as I can tell, this bundle, where is it? This guy right here. This site bundle JS is fairly bulky, and again, maybe you guys can kind of correct me or let me know, like, hey, you're able to change this on the higher tiers. I know you can do custom JS and a bit more advanced CSS on the higher tiers, but let's say let's say you just wanted to kind of test. Let's say you're doing custom code blocks like I am, which I'll show you guys here in just a moment. And let's say you wanted to kind of test that to see if you wanted to maybe go with Squarespace or Wix. You're not gonna really see that at surface level. You know what I mean? You'll have to run some tests. So this this bundle site, as far as I can tell, is a culprit here. So I'll run a lighthouse test, and guys, it should land us in the 74th. I'll say sometimes I even get 80s, but it's not very consistent. Not because of anything domain side. Based on my testing, it's just as far as I can tell, it's Squarespace being Squarespace. So again, yeah, 70 here. Yeah, it gets killed in the total block time. Is that the TBT? Yes, TBT. Total block time just gets absolutely destroyed because it's taking a long time loading those bundles, as far as my understanding of it goes. So yeah, just absolutely destroyed. It's not doing anyone any favors. So we'll run a few more of those. Just so you guys can kind of see. Now, what I'll do is I'll do a comparison from this empty blank page to the actual Elysium site. Bear with me here, or bear with this test here. Let it run. Come on now. Yeah, there we go. Like I said again, at times you get an 82, but let's compare this now to like this, and I would consider this like it's a full functioning site. We got things popping up. You can sign up for things, go left, go right, go to the YouTube channel, whatever, etc. I'm just gonna get out of there. But yeah, let's run it on here. And you'll see that it's the same. It doesn't matter if it's full or empty. We'll take a look at the network side here in just a moment. And yeah, it's going to give us like a 70 or an 80 is usually how it goes. Now, of course, of course I'm recording and it's doing this. I can tell you that this is like an outlier. This is just like a one-off. It's not consistent. So yeah, don't take a look at that score and be like, oh, that's not bad. That unfortunately, the thing, or how do I say this? What you want to do with this kind of testing is you want to create a baseline. You want to create a set that you can at least reference so that it has some validity. Because if you're just looking at these numbers just here and there, I mean, like, yeah, see, like one score is, you score a 90% and then, you get a 71 on the other. So it's not, if you're doing just a couple of these and you're using that as a reference point, is not a very strong one. That's all I'm trying to say there. So let's, we'll leave it at that for these. Let's go ahead and minimize this. Let's jump into, so again, did I say we went over the lighthouse? Yeah, so I showed that and then show live how. Okay, perfect. So no, yeah, so I showed the bundles. Yeah, we took a look at the bundle and I showed, yeah, so the Wix, let's come here and let's jump to the browser side of things. Let's jump, because again, you're not gonna really notice this, and I didn't see any of the YouTube videos kind of really going in depth. So in my opinion, let's say like you're making portfolio sites and you're making basic sites, and you want a nice dashboard. Like I personally love the, doing a website for a friend here, but yeah, I personally love the kind of here. Like let's jump into here for a second, and I don't think I have dark reader. No, dark reader is not enabled. So let's enable dark reader on here so we don't blind ourselves. And let's jump into the web pages here. If you go to pages, like as you can see, everything is it's basic, that just might be what you need. Like the menus are very intuitive. They kind of go together. The custom CSS is right there. You open it right over, see, like right off the bat. So if I deleted everything here, you know what I mean? You kind of, it's a bit of a live environment, kind of hold your hand kind of scenario. And then what I've done here, just to save time, everything here is on a custom code block. So let's go ahead and view that. And same thing with the editor. Like if I didn't enable dark reader, like you don't really have a choice. You're stuck with this. Why? Some might like that, but yeah, this was essentially just a styles block and a div block. So I have a styles block from here, and it ends down right there, and then the div block starts, and I have a div block right here. So like that's essentially that's the body. And one thing that I've done here is, again, I'm not a forefront developer or anything like that, but I do try. I do try to refine. I do try to understand. It depends on how much passion you're trying to put into it. So I've done some homework here and there to try to get the site as best as I can on Squarespace. But yeah, it's even with the custom code blocks, which is essentially what all these pages are. For the most part, like even here, even the bottom here, everything here is its own custom block. So in the benefits of this is, if when you're changing themes and all that, you can kind of rest easy knowing that like it doesn't affect any of this. Depending on how you're doing your testing and you're setting it up, this could be beneficial for you. I don't know. Again, very, very basic editor. Now on the flip side, Wix is like here. Let's go to the dashboard here and you'll kind of see what I mean here in just a moment. It's very comprehensive. Dare I say, like I'm not trying to learn, and you'll kind of look at this menu and you'll see like we're gonna go here in just a second. Like I don't, again, personal preference. I don't want to learn another Cloudflare, but that's, again, it's very very comprehensive. But that's what it is. As you guys can see, I've just started on this because I wanted to, for the sake of demonstration, I just wanted to show, hey, two blank pages, basically the same thing. One of them scoring 98, the other one's doing like 70, just because the way that their backhand, the way that they're loading in the page works. And again, as far as I can tell, there's no way around that. So that's on the Wix side. So then, and yeah, so let's jump to Cloudflare now, which I think would be the coolest part of the video here. Um, um, I think for you guys, when you like, if you sign up for a domain, it will kind of show up like this. I've been dealing with this for many years. It's not bad, but if you're doing stuff like basically what I used to have is I used to just have like a group tab, and then I used to just shove like six, 7 Cloudflare tabs in there, like DNS, email. Nothing wrong with that, of course, but the new dashboard is definitely, in my opinion, definitely a sight for sore eyes, I would say, especially these, depending on what you're doing. Yeah, the tabs, the bookmarks, within client side or within app side, I think is very very important personally. So let's take a look at a few of these. So even with so I have caching enabled, I have reverse cache, and I have cache rules set up. I have a few for dynamics, so like for like the APIs and the dashboards. I have a few statics for the site, so like JS, your WebPs, and things of that nature. And then I also have a micro cache. So setting up all the cache rules, making sure security is um, as well as it can be for the plan that I'm on, for the basic plan that I'm on. I mean, here, let's go to, again, I have speed test here, and let's run, in my opinion, or if you're looking to kind of create a data set, coming on here and using Cloudflare to run the tests and then creating a data set from that is probably a lot better. So yeah, let's run one here. I just put the handle at the beginning so it doesn't redirect us. It kind of takes a little bit from the test. So we'll let that run. And then while this is running, so basically what I'm doing here is I take the telemetry from analytics and logs, and then I dump those into Wazuh. And then I essentially create a rule so that Wazuh is like, it's a filter rule so that Wazuh is able to read and it's able to tag it properly. So we'll go over that. That will be for the end of the video, or I might not. The thing is, like, I've already created the thumbnail, and the thumbnail already has Wazuh, and I don't want to be misleading. Like, I don't like, what, I want the thumbnail to be accurate, but you guys will have to excuse me. I don't know how many people are even going to care about this video, but if it does get the views that it needs, I apologize for not going in depth into Wazuh, but I'll go over in depth once I hook in Wix and I permanently switch from Squarespace to Wix. I will show you guys, like, hey, now my solution is, Wix, Cloudflare, and Wazuh, and I'll show you guys how to hook in those three as a solution. And while I was talking, did it finish? Yeah, see that's the LCP. The LCP just gets destroyed every single time. TBT here, like, I mean, again, this is just a one-off here. Let me show you guys a better picture. So this is like it draws a graph, but yeah, as you can see, I just get destroyed and and in LCP all the time. And TBT is, it doesn't, like, yeah, there's the few one-offs which is like whatever, but for the main part, like if I were to put this into a graph and do an average, like it's not good. So put it to you guys that way. But Cloudflare is actually a very very good tool. So what I'm doing is I'm just using the Squarespace as a front end, and then I'm doing, I'm hooking in Cloudflare as to manage, the DNS side, the email side, the HTLS and the SSL certificates, so on and so forth. So that's it for now. Again, this is just more of a supplemental video to all the other videos that are already out there, kind of comparing, Wix and Squarespace. Hey, like at a very very basic front end level, you can just drag and drop. But what if you were to like go fully custom and do code blocks with everything, and test and tune and tweak everything? Even with all of that said, you come here and you run a test. Yeah, it's, you're not able to lock down that, that 95 to 98, that like here as an example, I mean, I'll let this run here, but we already know what's going to happen here with this test. But I'll go to CyberNews. I think CyberNews is a very wonderful YouTube channel. They have no idea who I am, but I've been a long time kind of viewer of theirs. Yeah, 63, just awful, absolutely awful. But really, what you want here. So let's go to CyberNews. Um, and the reason why I just do this is just a habit. It's better to just to like do the full URL. Don't do it this way. It's just I'm set up with DuckDuckGo and I have some security set up, so it's a little bit easier to just kind of search it. But yeah, you want to usually always use full URL if you can get away with it. But yeah, I think this is a wonderful website. They have a great YouTube channel, so I'll be putting a few of their videos on kind of like basic, like, hey, here's a comparison, like a surface level of Square. They do a wonderful job here, but let's do a test on their site, and you'll kind of see like this is how a proper website is done. You'll see here. I mean, and they're using a domain that I'm not familiar with, so it's not like they're using like Squarespace or Wix or anything like that for front end. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure this is all custom, but you'll see here beautiful scores here. I think I've done this several times. I know what their website is going to get already, so but yeah, just beautiful scores here in just a moment. Bam. That's kind of what you want for your website. And like I'm on a VPN. You know what I mean? So like as you can see, like it starts creating a picture of like, okay, so these are like well optimized websites with everything done properly. It doesn't matter how much elements you have on screen. The lighthouse score should be here. Like, I mean, I'll run a few of these regardless, but the lighthouse scores should be the same. So again, this is just a supplemental video. If you were planning on making a website, whether it's portfolio, e-commerce, or you're starting, like a small service, just think about like longevity. Like, yep, Squarespace is easier. It's bulky, like just like with everything else. You gain something, but you have to sacrifice something. So I would say, yeah, from all the videos that I've seen, is no brainer. If you're looking for speed, optimization, longevity, yeah, yeah, go with Wix, as I've found out. So what I'll be doing is, I will be moving, the Elysium Machine website at some at some point. As you guys can see, I'm slowly working on it. I will be moving the website to Wix because, yeah, that's the premise for the video. I don't know if anyone's interested in me going over, again, I'm not a front-end developer, so you guys probably want to hear it from them, but I don't know if anyone's interested in my journey of like how I optimize these as a person who's not a developer, what kind of help I used. If you guys have more questions about Cloudflare, um, again, there are more better tech channels that kind of go in depth on the basics, but like that's the whole premise of this channel, is I don't want to replicate anything someone else has already done. So I mean, I looked this up. If you guys know a video online that's like it combines these three solutions, say, hey, there is this guy that's already done it. I'd love to watch their video. I don't want to create something that's duplicate. But yeah, I did a Google search and I did a YouTube search. There's no one showing, hey, let's combine Wix, let's combine it with Cloudflare, and let's add Wazuh on top. I don't know if anyone's interested in the content like that, but yeah, I'll leave it here. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comments, and have yourselves a great day. Take care.